Hey guys, today I wanted to give a first impressions video on these two on-the-go portable drying racks for bottles, as well as this on-the-go bottle system for formula feeding. My thoughts on them, which one of these we plan to keep, and just how they work. Let's take a look. Alright, so first I'm going to introduce the bottles. So these are the Mixie bottles, and they come with really easy to read and follow instructions just right here on the box. But I'm going to show you guys really quick how they work. So basically, you just unscrew this ring here on the bottom, pop out this little part here, then this part here on the top comes off, and this is where you put your formula. So you can put up to 2 scoops in here. This is a 4-ounce bottle, and you'd be able to put up to 4 scoops in here because this is an 8-ounce bottle. Once you have your formula inside, you'll put this on top. Make sure it's sealed all the way around. As you can see, it has a pretty good seal, and this keeps water from going inside it. Then you put it back in on the bottom, you screw the ring back on, undo the top part, pour your water in, and then this is good to go. You just throw it inside your diaper bag, and when your little one is ready to eat, you just push this bottom here on the bottom, it releases the formula in, and you mix it up. I do feel like the 8-ounce ones probably makes a little bit better just because of their size, and it gives it more room for this little thing to kind of mix around. But this does, as you saw, still mixes around and we'll get the formula in. And there's no way for this piece right here to get stuck inside of here, so don't worry about that if that was a concern you guys might have looking at it. So now we're just going to see how these look laid on the different drying racks. Alright, now I'm going to show you guys how I would put these Mixie bottles inside of it. So I do like that it has this extra space on top because, as you saw, there's a spot for every little piece of this bottle, and there's quite a few pieces, but then I can also keep the cap here as well. And I'll just put it the same way on the other side. And then for stability, as you can see, it stays pretty well. Even when it's shook, the bottles stay in place. The only thing I wish is that the brush had a place to kind of sit, but if you move the caps, it's not really touching anything. If you move things out of the way a little bit, the part that's dirty isn't really touching anything other than these caps. So you could just not put the caps in the drying rack, or you can just set this on a towel or something else instead. But that's it with all the Mixie bottles, and now I'll show you with 4 other bottles just so you can get an idea of ones that have a little less pieces, how they'll fit. Alright, so I have a Como Tomo bottle with 2 pieces that I'm just going to set here. I have a Munchkin Latch bottle, which I'm just going to set here. I have I want to say a Lano bottle, but I'm not quite sure how to say it, that I'll set here. And then a Dr. Brown's Option bottle that I will set next to it. So as you can see, 4 bottles fit pretty comfortably. They stay pretty well when it's shook. The only one that's a little wobbly is the Dr. Brown's, but they do stay in place. And again, like I said, there is this extra room here if you want to keep bottle caps here with your bottles. And that's it with 4 bottles. Alright, so this one is a little bit more frustrating to use in the beginning because these things don't always stay in place and they want to pop out just because of this design. So it takes a little more patience and trial and error. I've also never had one of the bigger mats, so I'm not used to something like this at all. But once you kind of get used to it and figure out where you want your parts, they stay pretty secure in the place that you want them. So I'm just going to pop in these last few parts, since the Mixie bottles have lots and lots of extra parts. And the little holders, put those in there, make sure everything's kind of situated where I want it. But there. Alright, there we go. So, as you can see, like I said, it's a little bit of trial and error with this one. You have to be a little more patient with it. But if this is the kind of style that you like, then it's definitely workable, as you saw, and can fit everything, and it does stay secure when it's moved in place. This one looks like it's wobbling a little bit, but it is staying in place and works really well and has a spot for all the pieces. Now I'm going to show you with 4 different bottles so you can get an idea of how it looks with a little less extra pieces from these bottles. Alright guys, so first we have the Kamatomo bottle. Then we have the Munchkin Latch bottle. And these are just the 2 wider bottles, so I'm trying to put them on opposite ends, hoping that helps. Then I have the Leno bottle. And it's the same thing that I said before. You're kind of just trying to figure out the best way for these things to pop on and stay secure. But they do stay. It's just a user error on my part, trying to get used to this mat. And that is 4 of the bottles on there, as you see, and they stay when it's shut. So as you saw, again, it's a little harder to get things to stay on here. It takes a little more patience, but once you're kind of used to the bottles you're using and you're used to using this, I feel like it just takes a little bit of practice and still works really well. And as you see, can fit all 4 bottles onto here comfortably. Alright, and as you see, the Boon is longer than the OXO Tot, and from down low you can't really see, but it is just a little bit taller than the OXO Tot as well, but the OXO Tot is wider than the Boon. Alright, so that is pretty much it. I feel like the Boon is more my style, and it's the one that I'm planning to keep. It does take a little more practice to be more user-friendly as you're getting used to this mat. And there isn't a whole ton of room here, but as you saw, I could fit about 4 bottles, and I could also do just the 2 bottles with lots of pieces, and it would work well with pump parts as well. The only thing I wish is that this brush was a little bit fuller, but I know because of the design, that's why it's flatter and it still gets the job done. And then I really like that it comes with 2 other bottle brushes as well. It just gives a good variety. So this is the style I like and I'll be keeping, but like I said, you do kind of have to really get used to this mat, and if you want something that's easy just to throw things on, this might not be the best choice for you. But if you do like the look of it, if you've had the other Boon mats before, I feel like this is a really great option. The OXO Tot, I feel like, is the most user-friendly out of the 2. It has a lot of carrying variety, especially if you have a toddler and you're also using plates and cups. It would also work well with pump parts and things. The only thing I have a gripe on, and I'll show you, is how hard it is to get these out, but also that I wish this brush was just a little bit taller. I don't feel like it's very effective with the size that it is, but if you don't have bottles with a lot of parts or pump parts that you have to get into very deep, it will still get the job done and it's not really a deal breaker. But yeah, so I feel like it's the most compact size, it's easiest to work with, not a whole lot of trial and error. However, it does, and you didn't see with me because I got used to this one quickly, if you do put things like not so close together and not as close, they can get kind of wobbly and fall out. And that's originally why we decided the other one. But as I got to using it, that problem sort of went away. So really, I don't feel like you can go wrong with either one. Both are great options for on the go. It just depends what size and style you're looking for. So hope that helped. Thanks for watching.